I know I'll say things and everybody will go, ah. And then I'm just like, in my mind, that's the most innocent thing. And then I have to go home with clear my conviction to be like, I literally meant 0.0 harm. I was not trying to hurt anybody. I even genuinely thought it was funny. And now everybody's telling me that I'm mean. And I'm like, like, this is crazy, right?
The Sapiosexual Platter.
Every day, without thinking, you perform the most powerful act as a human being. And yet, it just goes by unnoticed. A lot of the times, we say that thinking creates reality. And we are not mindful of the words that we say, yet words are thoughts in motion. We cheapen our words. How about we make them more expensive and accounted for? That's what we would be talking about today on the pod. The power to create reality with the words that you speak. My name is Belsa Abo Ame.
I am Shatani Samalakai.
Welcome to
the Sapiosexual Platter.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Your tongue
is
an architect of your reality.
Speak, Joe Dispenza.
Discuss.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes without saying.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us are aware of this. And it's a truth we associate with, obviously, when it works best for us.
Yep.
And it's a truth we disassociate with when you see how we carelessly use our tongue.
Yeah.
It's like you forget how powerful it is.
Yeah. We were just careless right now outside.
Were we?
We were. And I was paying attention to us. I was just like, this is the carelessness that sets a trap. We were talking about the struggles of being an entrepreneur.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. And we were like, that's not how I thought it. That's why I disrespect young, beautiful, gorgeous women who had entrepreneurship, and they would mistreat you as a fellow Motswana, and then they would a foreigner. So I was watching it happen, and I was just like, yeah, this is how we loosely end up attracting these realities. Because when we are experiencing them, it's easier to like just go on a vent. And there's a Bible verse that I read recently that I shared that spoke something to that effect about venting. That a person who vents out like is a fool, but the one who holds their tongue is something. I don't know. You're the Bible
I'm
person.
sure it's a proverb. I don't know how it
is
works
a
exactly.
proverb.
Yeah.
It is a proverb. And like when we were speaking, and I was just like going ham, and I was like, oh my God, there I go again with my words. And no wonder I attract the realities that I attract because they match exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And yet the other day I was talking to myself and counseling myself to say that verse of Proverbs. Because for me, what it was simply teaching me was when you are emoting or just in a state where you are feeling a lot of emotions or frustration, it's better to hold your tongue.
Yeah.
And I think I've always known it internally. Maybe that's why I have delayed reaction to stuff, or like I take time to really digest before I speak, because I'm like, however I'm going to speak is a creation of reality. But it's just so easy to vent and just call people out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think our culture especially, funny because we recently spoke on an episode about the power of the media.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that we have come to this point.
Yeah.
Because I do think, I remember many years back where you and I had a conversation about the kind of reality that the media was creating for Botswana.
This media thing. You really like it. Come on.
No.
You see where this conversation is going again?
No. I'm not even.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
This is Tabo was like, I'm not sure about that episode. I don't know how you guys arrived there. And I was like,
it was so weird.
I was like, you were in a venting mood. I was venting. You were like, I'm gonna call everything. I caught the fire. I'm dominant. Can't tell again of the media. I'm like, yo. Today the spirit is here. Let the spirit do its work.
Yeah, but at some point that it's one thing to play the game, you know, you understand that, you know, propaganda, you know, or, you know, trying to push a particular narrative.
Yeah.
And sometimes correctly or rightfully having identified a pain point that the people are suffering and trying to see if you can, through expression, get resolve. But then you realize, then it just becomes a train of thought that everybody in the nation is now repeating.
Yeah.
And then you wonder, like, this problem, did it come about because of the problem itself, or rather did the problem exacerbate or get worse?
Yeah.
Because of the problem itself, or the fact that after identifying it as an issue, then everybody just kept going on.
Yeah.
And then becomes this circuitous thing. And then it becomes the reality.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like, when I think about how Botswana now, it's so easy for us to say, you know, there's so much corruption. It's
always been easy. It's not now. It's always been easy to say that.
No, I think when I was growing up, it wasn't a common narrative.
No, I mean, like, I get about how Botswana it's so easy now to say there's corruption. I'm saying it's not now. It's a thing that's been happening, I think, ever since the rise of social media, like the 2009, 2010.
I say now as in relative to how I grew up.
Okay.
Relative to when I was younger, relative to where Botswana comes from. In the past, it was, you look back and you read what was actually happening, and you realize there was some forms of corruption in different ways.
Yeah.
But because the language in the nation wasn't that, I think there weren't too many levels. So I wonder if the levels of corruption have arisen because also of the narrative that's being spinned. And then it just becomes part now of our culture. So I just say, like, to your point on the power of the tongue, to say, you know, the principle applies in all sectors. And it's interesting to see, like, in a sector like the media, you know, that power tends to be forgotten, or people believe, or we all believe that is their job anyway. It's their job to, you know, constantly place certain types of, you know, narratives in our minds. Yeah. And we don't see it as a negative thing.
No, agreed 1000%. I think at a point I also just stopped reading news, reading the media, because I realized, like, all these negative things outputted into reality, the constant repetition and exposure to them, they're getting embedded into my deep subconscious mind, because the language, words are an interface with reality. And the mechanisms of the mind, there's this part of the mind called the reticular activation system, the RAS, and it works as the filter of the brain. So it's like, maybe if, let's say, you want like a fancy BMW, and you think it's rare because you just haven't seen it. The moment you just fixate on it, all of a sudden
they
appear everywhere. And words for me register as that. It's like they instruct the RAS what to filter out. So it's like, if we're sitting there and we're going, you know, Botswana is like this, that, and this is how people treat young entrepreneurs like ourselves. The RAS is listening. And then it's activating the filter of, you know, queuing in, you need to experience more of this.
More of what you said.
So that I can show you cues of this thing that you are professing or instructing, because you have to instruct the RAS. So I think media has that component. But with your example, media with relation to people in power, I do believe that, yes, media should co-create reality with people in power, with people in governments, with people that are trying to make a change. But I also do believe that the people in power should also be mindful that their speech is creating. So it shouldn't be contradictory. it shouldn't be contradictory.
See where you're going with that.
No, like, I'm just saying, because obviously we had the bone of contention was what had transpired with the example that you gave.
Yeah.
And it's like having to realize that power, that it goes both ways. It goes both ways to
absolutely.
the media. And then also goes both ways to the people that are in leadership, because you should be able to have the responsibility over your tongue. One of the things that actually frustrates me in all of the continent is just like sometimes how leaders speak too much. I'm just like, yo, just keep quiet.
Yeah.
Just keep quiet and have the immense discipline to use your tongue when you are creating, not to break down, not to crucify, not to overshare and say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to achieve this and we achieve this and like just understand the power of speech. And, you know, when you have people like, I have a dream, Martin Luther King, it has echoed throughout, and it will continue to, because words are that powerful. Even when you just look at conflict, at war, it's like, I don't know, there are different philosophical sayings or metaphors that pin the act of violence with words. You know, that words are so powerful. They can stop a war. They can
bring together nations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, it was important to have this conversation because it was just that realization that there's like a looseness to us as people in which we carry the power of the spoken word. And it's like we put so much weight on thinking creates reality, feeling creates reality,
Doing creates reality.
Yeah. And then we think we can just vent. But speaking and words, there's actually a skill to it. It doesn't mean just because everybody can run, they should become a runner, you know? And it's like, I feel the same with speaking. It's like, just because we've got the power to utter words, we misuse it. So we just talk anyhow. But it's like, no, this is actually a tool.
Yeah.
That is meant to be used for a specific thing. And just because you've got access to it all the time doesn't mean that
you should use it.
You should just use it.
Yeah. 100%. I was just, as you were speaking, I was thinking of like the power of the tongue relative to other forms of like expression, and thinking about like GBV and how...
Thinking about?
GBV.
Gender-based
violence. And how the focus tends to be on the physical act. And very little, I think, or although we acknowledge that, you know, there's emotional violence, there's like verbal violence.
Yeah.
I often wonder, even in the cases where, you know, somebody has, you know, then hit another person, what was being said to them. You know, and you know, it for me it always seems to be like, okay, so what did she say? And then everybody's it doesn't matter. You should just be able to hold yourself, you know. And I'm like, I've had people say things to me, and I know how that feels. Yeah, and I always say that, like, man, I'm not a man, but like, if you were speaking to me like that, I wouldn't be surprised if I reacted in some type of way, if I'm just being honest. And this is said by a woman, you know, to say, we really do underestimate the impact of our tongue. You know, we say whatever we want with the thing. The word isn't coming out, but with the venom of it all. And yeah, it's okay. Speak Kalanga, guys.
Larry, lefoko ga le boe go ba monana.
Oh,
you can heal from my punch. But the words that you say to me would echo on
for generations,
for days, for months, for years. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very intense, because I like that example that you give about GBV and words that we tend to cheapen, water down the impact of words just because they don't have the immediate physical evidence.
See the wound.
You don't see the scar. And you would utter something that creates a psychological scar in somebody, which takes a long time to heal.
Yeah.
And it can never be erased. It stays with them. It compounds into their mind.
Imprints on everybody else around them too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's the place that they start to act from that trauma, from that wound created. Whereas the punch is hectic or the slap is hectic. But you heal faster from that than you would a psychological wound. And that's why even if you broke your leg years ago and that leg heals, you can walk, you can run, you can do whatever. But if you were said something 7 years ago, you'd see 50 years, somebody's still just holding on to that word.
When I was a baby, when I was a kid.
And that's
this is what my mother used to say or my father used to say.
Yeah. So I was just like, yo. And I think for me, it was also inspired by our conversation about our dominance.
Yeah.
That to say that you had more power with the words than I would have. Yeah. Now I assert myself, guys. Now I do try to assert myself. But it's not that I didn't want to assert myself. I think inherently one of my talents is the awareness of the power of the spoken word. So even if I have an issue with somebody, it will take me time simply because I don't want to create trauma or scars. And if you find me creating trauma or scars with my words, I'm like, you've earned it. It's revenge time. Like when you see me doing that, like I have nothings to give. I'm like, this person has been negligent and they use that tongue anyhow, so I'm out to revenge or do the same so that they can feel the impact of this. But it was just more that like realizing that with you may not feel the weight of the words you say just because you are living life and it's just like, guys, said this. Yeah. And it's like, yo, this actually really carries weight, especially because the way that my mind is wired, where I would like internalize it, like, okay, are we creating a project out of this? Are we resolving something out of this? So I was like, wow, like when we had that conversation, I was like, wow, it's important for us to have this conversation about the power of the spoken word, because in as much as I do acknowledge I'm highly dominant, I'm a main character, I'm a very strong character, can be very overwhelming for some people. It's not the easy people to deal with me. However, nonetheless, it's like, in as much as I can have that passivity, I would want us to have like an immense awareness of like the strength in words and how words create. No,
that's something I carry a conviction about all the time. When I see how people are impacted by my words, or when I see even how I feel after you've said something, and then you see how you're like, oh my gosh, okay, and you can feel even yourself. You can feel the strength of, I just uplifted somebody. You can also feel something shift in you because you either inflicted pain or you created some level of confusion, and so that's definitely in the past couple of years, I think different experiences have taught me, wow, it's very important, the use of your tongue. It's very important. It can change things, and you have to be you have to invest time and energy in understanding the power and how to in learning how to use and how to communicate and how to ensure you actually say what you mean. I think Pastor Sarah Roberts, TD Jake's daughter, she is always, every time when she's preaching, I pay attention. She'll say, "Dear Lord, help me to say it the way I mean it." Like recognizing that what you always say may not always reflect what you mean. So it's just like, help me to say it the way I mean it. You know. So yeah, it's very, very important. And I think the experience that really taught me that was that one where Bella and I wanted to start a project, and we had found a place. I was so excited.
Don't trauma me.
I was so excited, and we went around, we planned, and then in the end, I reflected, and I was like, this is probably a good idea, but maybe not for now. And
that is my example when it comes to clarity.
Yeah.
for the next episode.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Yeah. No, use it. Yeah. It was a big learning point for me, because that was the first time where somebody was calling me to account to say, you do understand that because you are who you are, when you say that you want to do this, I literally go, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to take my tools, and I'm going to take my soldiers, and I'm going to carry my resources, and I take you very seriously. And you can't kind of, take my energy and have it focused towards this, only for you to then take 10 steps backwards and say, nah, And that was like, whoa, I was like, oh my God, I take full accountability. And I think it took me 6 months to even cleanse myself of the guilt of that. But I guess it was the lesson necessary to say the next time, before you make a proposal, before you gather people in excitement.
Can I even gathered me? Because I wasn't having plans of that.
Yeah.
And I forgot about that part.
Yeah, just gather people and, you get them to brainstorm. And that's the thing, we even think that brainstorming should just be this thing that we do randomly, and then you realize you've kind of compounded brainstorming sessions but no output.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's deep. And nowadays I'm so careful.
Yeah.
Like before I say something, there's so many things that I have planned that I want to do that are in my heart. But from that experience, I learned, like, when you finally say it, it's because you're actually ready to do something about it. So I'm grateful for the experience. But it taught me the power of the tongue and how it can, what is happening in different people's minds when I say something, and that I should never take that for granted.
I like that you're sharing this, because I feel like we're experiencing healing. Earlier I said something to the effect that just because everybody runs doesn't mean that they have to become a runner. Like in terms of Olympics and competitive runner. And realizing that, I think with you, and I think we've spoken about this, that different people's tongues have different weight.
Yeah.
That everybody can speak, or most people can speak, but not everybody was born to speak. Yeah. And one thing about us and why we do the podcast is because we were born to speak. But one of the reasons when we're speaking about just like what it has triggered, and why I'm saying we're going through healing as friends, was when we spoke about what my year of 2025 was. And I was like, it was being.
Yeah.
It was me realizing that I like to do things with other people. Like I've stood alone, and I've seen I can only go so far alone. So after that awareness, I was like, I want to meet people who are like-minded and aligned, and we take up projects together. And I like that you're sharing that, because it made me have an awareness. I knew I had this awareness, like why 2025 was just being, where I was just like, I'm doing. It was just that way. It felt like there's so many things that we've brainstormed about. And I take them with a certain level of, not seriousness, but clarity, because I do think you're a very serious person and you take them seriously. I just think that because of what we do in our lives, our priorities are wired different.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it'll be like maybe my immediate priorities, because my life has been wired for entrepreneurship and different projects, but it was basically Mochapula.
Yeah.
I was like, the first person that I'd actually come and spoken to about this was you, and we brainstormed in your house. I don't know if you remember. We brainstormed. We brainstormed. I told you like, yo, I want to do this with children. We did. And you remember? And then we said we'll call children, and you can play piano.
Okay. Yes. Okay. No, that I remember. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So then.
Okay, I was thinking about it in terms of what it has become now.
No,
so I was like, I don't remember that conversation. Okay, yes, no,
yeah.
the program and bringing kids together and instilling certain values, yes,
in the children, and then we were meant to do. I think when the year started, we were meant to go to Muchudi.
Yes.
You're meant to speak to some headmasters, so we do something with that with children, maybe like where you were in a school, because you said you're still connected. So we're just realizing that. When we speak, I tend to hold it with more weight, and I think that's why certain, like when you dominate with the spoken word, it registers in me, because for me, it's not a light matter. Yeah, and my partner, I think, dislikes this about me, because you'll make jokes and I'll be like,
I think I'm only coming to the realization of it now, but like that's how serious it is, and I'm like, yo, like, can we just sometimes brainstorm?
Dude, brainstorm is saying,
no, we're just perfecting the muscle of brainstorming, okay? Like, yo, not everything can turn into a project, surely not. Like, wow.
So it was like, he doesn't like that about me, because he'll make jokes. He'll be like, oh my God, I'm so silly. And I'm like, don't say that. Or like, just feeling like, yo, you're creating words are that powerful. For me, it'll be like, we're brainstorming, we're talking about this. We have to go to students. We have to speak to the students, and realizing, like, because when it doesn't materialize, I end up confused. Like, what was that? What was that about?
Yeah.
But I would have grace for it, because I'm like, I don't know what to make of it. I think the most confusing one was that project that we planned to do together. That was the one that I felt the weight of it. And I think it was from that moment where I realized, like, oh, I have to take action by myself and move with my clarity, because I would end up stalling so many things I want to do. Waiting, because I sat down with people and we brainstormed and we thought about different things. And it's like almost feeling like I then need some level of permission, because I used words to sit and agree with people. And to me, it carries spiritual weight. And when it doesn't happen, I'm left with the disappointment and I have to deal with it. So 2025, I was like, yo,
whatever you want to do.
I do. Yeah. I'm not going to tell anybody or speak to anybody, because I take the seriousness of what they say and I wear it on my chest. Yeah. And then end up setting myself up for disappointment, because I wouldn't even blame them, because it's just a matter of our lives are wired different. This is immediate to you. This is 3 years down the line for the other person. And that's absolutely okay. But I share this to say, like, that's what I'm inspired to share when I said there's healing, because you brought it up. And I'm like, just to give you an insight into my thought process and my relationship with words, and how that experience of, and to the viewer, to realize how we all internalize words in a different way.
Yeah.
And then with the one that you said about Sarah Jakes, to say, like, say it how I mean it. Yeah. With our friendship, I think that has been like certain things that have created some wounds. Yeah. Because I realized, like, we're both pure, but sometimes venom.
Both ways.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're both pure, but sometimes venom, both of us. And realizing that you would say certain things, because I'm having the awareness now that you would say certain things with a different meaning internally to you.
Yeah.
But the mismatch between what you're meaning internally with the words you were saying.
Yeah.
And I think we had this conversation one time when we were both dreaming, and then you said something, and then I'm like, no, that's not how it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I set you in a child's pose because you don't know why I am objecting what you are saying. And for me, it was just like, what you're saying is great, but I don't know if I'm dreaming that way.
Yeah.
But now I'm having the awareness that it wasn't that you were not dreaming in the best way for me, but it was more that there was a dissonance between what you mean and what you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, just making that, and also realizing that because you would see how people are judged.
Yeah.
You see people just, I know I'll say things and everybody will go, ah. And then I'm just like, in my mind, that's the most innocent thing. And then I have to go home with clear my conviction to be like, I literally meant 0.0 harm. I was not trying to hurt anybody. I even genuinely thought it was funny. And now everybody's telling me that I'm mean, and I'm like, like, this is crazy, right? And then just saying, Lord, give me the wisdom and the ability to, I don't know, it's just cultural intelligence. I don't even know what it is. Let me just keep quiet next time. But just like, what can I say just so that it registers the way that I actually mean it in myself? You know, and then also just giving grace to people. Sometimes it's not that you said anything wrong. Or sometimes, like you're saying, there's this disconnect between what you mean and what you say. And then you can go home. I think
that's very powerful.
You can go home and forgive yourself and ground yourself and say, that's not what I meant. So next time, how do I say it in a way that it relates to people? And learn that lesson. And move on. But like it's really, really important. And then just as you were speaking, I was even thinking about like relationships and particularly men. And Lona.
You're starting with your weird stuff. We're creating here. We're healing.
You guys, you know what? Men are amazing. And
they really are. Look at that.
And men really want to give the best to their partners. And I think that, again, there's been a culture that's been created where they make lots of promises. And the way like girls just gullibly eat that up. You know what I mean? And it's like, but why should that be like a modus operandi? You know what I mean? Because like it's the power of your word that you get somebody committed to you when you had no intention of like fulfilling those promises. And all you're doing is just playing the wooing game. That's off.
Yeah, agreed. But you know what I do though sometimes? I believe those words.
Believe it for them, right?
I believe it for them. Like I feel like there's so many things that my husband has promised me, and I'm like, I believe you.
We believe.
I believe you. I believe.
But I mean,
but I agree with you. Like that's
No, because again, we're speaking about how we just use words very loosely.
I'm just being a joker.
I get it, and I'm just like when I think about it, and I just think about relationships in the past, and I'm just like, wait, a king. Nonsense.
And we eat it up.
And then you're like dreaming in your mind, like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then it's like, no, I meant maybe 5 years from now. Maybe what? 5 years from now? Then why didn't you say
5 years,
5 years from now? Because that would literally have changed the conversation and the tone, And it's just unfortunate that like that is how men have been conditioned to.
I don't think they are conditioned that way.
I think it's a culture.
No, I think it's like human nature. Women respond to words, men respond to visuals. So it's like it's us. They could equally say like, you put on the wigs and you put on the makeup.
But it's there. It's a tangible thing. You see it. It's in your face.
And it's like you're lying to me.
It's not a lie.
The same way that I lied to you.
It's not a lie. You saw it. You saw it. It was there.
Yeah, but I woke up
And
in
you
the morning. It
touched
wasn't
it.
there anymore.
No, I can do it again. I can do it
I
again.
can lie to you again.
No, I can take a shower, put on a wig again, and you will see it again, okay? But I don't know, like, if you say you're going to build me a house and you're telling me, "Khoro, that's something that's going to happen in 10 years. I'm sorry, it's not the same as you saw me in a wig the day before. It's really not the same thing. So what? Yeah. Like, we're not even about, like, I refuse to accept, that comparison. Like, no.
I'm simply trying to draw comparison to what innately our animus or like our animus responds to. It's like we respond to words, they respond to visuals. So we play the manipulation game in different ways. We manipulate our looks, we dress up, we smell, we put on makeup so that we appease to what they respond to,
which is a tangible thing. That's what I'm saying. Like you smell it. You are smelling the Bakaru Raj of 40. Okay, it's there. So I want the house.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. Somebody's thinking somebody jarred me and promised me a house.
But yeah, why do you think that spiritually, psychologically, and scientifically, words carry that weight?
Why?
Like somebody can tell you, you know what, baby, I'm gonna marry you, you're my wife, look at you, and you just believe it, and then you give up the cuckoo, and then next thing they drop you like a hot potato.
I think because words are the tool of creation. That is how the world was created. If you believe in the Bible, the Torah, even the Quran, because I think the Pentateuch is the same for all three. The Pentateuch being the first five books. Sorry.
Well, let me.
Pentateuch, like Pentagon is 5, right? Yeah. So Pentateuch is like the first 5 books of those holy books. Genesis, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, God created by saying, "Let there be light." So words are the tool of creation.
Yeah. One other thing that I also learned was that like words are a vibration, tonation. So it's like even if music we don't understand the words that are being said, there's a frequency and an energy that is emitted with that music. So it's like human beings respond to sound. Our relationship with sound is like immense. So it's like words are a sound that we emit, and they carry a vibration. They are a vibration. Even right now, I'm sure my throat is going, and it's emitted out into the space, the universe, and we pick on it, being that we have a relationship with music and sound for whatever reason. So I just think that is also an aspect of it, that they just register different spiritually, scientifically. Mind you, there might be like way more scientific evidence. I mean, we've tried to tell you about the reticular activation system, bring a little bit of science. But spiritually, I'm like, our relationship with sound and the fact that we're making sounds right now, there's something there.
Powerful. Yeah, definitely. It's energy. Yeah. And it creates.
Yeah.
Powerful. So yeah, guys, he said it many years ago, Martin Luther King, I have a dream that one day my kids will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And look at where we are today as a race, as Africans. I believe that we are living Martin Luther King's dream. And so that exemplifies the power of words. I want you to think about how you will start using your words from today to start creating the reality that you want for your life. My name is Shatani Somalakai.
And I am Belsa Abo Ame.
You've been watching
The Sapiosexual Platter.